Number 552 is now the Queen Elizabeth.
Striving their utmost.
1938, and the Queen Mother performs the naming of the first Queen Elizabeth, which didn't quite go to plan.
The ship begins to move before Her Majesty has had time to name her.
With the world in the grip of war, she was to spend her early years ferrying hundreds of thousands of troops all over the world.
As D-Day grew nearer, the mighty Queen Elizabeth dared the Luftwaffe to do its worst, as once again she steamed proudly and majestically up the Solent, bringing in thousands of American soldiers to join with us in the assault on Hitler's fortress of Europe.
Bill Farmer from Leamington was an engineer. His widow still has an original picture he took of the troops on board.
There's one particular photograph there where there's a boxing match on deck to release the kind of tensions.
But these ships made an enormous contribution to the war effort, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Churchill said that.
With the war over, the so-called golden age of cruising was around the corner. Maureen Ryan from Brighton is one of thousands who worked on the ship over the years.
That it was just such an enormous privilege to be part of the whole thing, because it was a whole lifetime of people that I could look back on now from the sort of 60s, 70s, 80s, and you if I meet them at a reunion, it's as though it was yesterday.
The Queen's 2,000 passengers have come from everywhere. Many are experiencing their first ocean voyage.
This footage from 1965 gives a remarkable insight into life on board.
A choice of first-class staterooms and suites, or economical cabin class and tourist class accommodations, provides a wide variety to suit every taste and budget. Prizes are awarded to couples who hold their balloons longest.
In the 1950s and 60s, celebrities were no stranger to the great queens of the sea.
You know, you were sort of pampered, and you had your own regular chair on the deck and your own library man to put your books that he knew you liked away for you. There was my murder mysteries already waiting for me when I went back. So, of course, it was really lovely and luxurious.
Elizabeth was sold in the late 1960s and went to Florida, where she was to become a tourist attraction, but the venture failed. She was sold on to a Hong Kong businessman, whose plans to convert her into a university came to nothing when she caught fire and sunk.
I name this ship Queen Elizabeth II.
Next came the QE2. She graced the world and became the most famous liner afloat before her departure to Dubai 2 years ago. And once again, Queen Elizabeth will tour the world with the name of her home city everywhere she goes. Mike Pearce on Queen Elizabeth for Meridian Tonight.